ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, ladies and gentlemen. Man, ladies and gentlemen, what a crazy MMA world we got going on here, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. If this isn't the fakest community I've ever seen in my life, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we got guys putting on fake fights, ladies and gentlemen. If that wasn't a fake fight, then that had to be fake, right? But that was a fake fight, right? You can't tell me that was a real fight, ladies and gentlemen. If that's a real fight, ladies and gentlemen, that was like a pillow fight with purses. You got to be kidding me, man. That was a real fight, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is a fake world, ladies and gentlemen. The clown's never going to have BK on ever again, ladies and gentlemen. And then the G-Man and BK put on a fake fight, and then the fake clown brings on everybody, and then they have a fake argument and conversation and everything, ladies and gentlemen. I love the fake world, ladies and gentlemen. We got people typing in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I see Charles Schmidt, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually going to answer the chat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about fake people, ladies and gentlemen, because that was a fake fight. If it wasn't fake, it wasn't a fight. I mean, you call that a fight, ladies and gentlemen? Did you see those punches that the G-Man was throwing, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, my God, ladies and gentlemen. The G-Man gets women, but those were like sissy punches, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to say they were gay punches or anything like that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. I just seen that the clown was live, and then I listened to 30 seconds of it. You know, skip forward like 3 hours or 5 hours or something. And what's his name? BK's on there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. The clown just spent 2 days or 3 days, 18 hours talking about how he's going to be done with BK, ladies and gentlemen. And then BK gets in a scrap with Guiliano Argenti, ladies and gentlemen. And then he's right on his show, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, was Milo on there? Who was Gio on there? Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be kidding me, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who we got, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who we got, ladies and gentlemen. Which thing we got working here, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, what up, says Charles, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. What else we got here? We got Kara Carr, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly, possibly a Scouser, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe from England, ladies and gentlemen. Not to dox anybody, ladies and gentlemen. Who's fighting? There was a fight yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. There was a fight between Brandon Kay and Guiliano Argenti, ladies and gentlemen. Right out in the middle of Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Hollywood, California, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Right out in public, ladies and gentlemen. And nobody said anything. I guess it's a common occurrence in California, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it was like, I don't know, the hippie state, love thy neighbor or whatever. Yeah, people fighting in the streets and people walking around these clowns fighting, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA community is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. If you would have seen these two combat warriors, ladies and gentlemen, you would be afraid to walk the streets of Hollywood. Let me tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. But really, I'm finding out that The MMA community is more fake than a man wearing a bird costume, ladies and gentlemen. I'd hate to tell you, but I don't actually go around. Like, I don't go to the bank with a bird costume on, ladies and gentlemen. But the clown spent 82 hours saying how he was going to be done with BK. And then BK's on the clown show last night, which I just found out right when I just showed up. I checked. I go, wait a minute. Was the clown live last night? Looked, listened to. I'm not kidding you. It was like he's like on there like 11 hours or something. And I listened to 30 seconds. Of course, I skipped forward. It was like the third hour or the fifth hour. And I skipped forward, and BK's on there, ladies and gentlemen. Which is nothing to do. The clown talks about people stealing his stuff, right? Let me tell you something. BK and Guiliano Argenti are pillars of their own self, ladies and gentlemen. Why is the clown got to go on? Why does everybody run to the clown after a big fake fight, ladies and gentlemen? Charles Smith, is that a question? Or is that a statement, Charles Smith, that it was fake? No, it wasn't. It wasn't fake, ladies and gentlemen. My point is they don't know how to fight, and it looked fake, ladies and gentlemen. That's what my point is. It's two guys in the MMA community that don't know how to fight. Not everybody watches basketball knows how to play basketball either, ladies and gentlemen. It's not what I'm saying. Training Muay Thai, ladies and gentlemen. He looked like Karate Kid out there, ladies and gentlemen. Like wax on, wax off, ladies and gentlemen. Argentini bringing his leg up. I thought he was going to do the flamingo, ladies and gentlemen. I thought the guy from Mel's Diner, from what is it? What Happy Days, ladies and gentlemen. I thought Mel was going to, the second Mel. The wax on, the wax off guy, the Karate Kid guy. I thought he was going to come out there and tell the Karate Kid. Guiliano Argenti looked like the Karate Kid, ladies and gentlemen. Doing the freaking flamingo, ladies and gentlemen. And BK with his rules. How can you have a fight? That's another thing that made it look like a fake fight. You're setting up rules in a street fight? That's gay. That's gay. And never trust a man setting the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Argentini's supposed to be a New Yorker, ladies and gentlemen. He's supposed to be pulling the wool over everybody else's eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Yet he falls for BK calling the rules, ladies and gentlemen. And then in the middle of the fight, BK says that Guiliano Argenti, lodged a punch towards his face, which was against the rules. You can't punch somebody in the face, ladies and gentlemen, in a fight. Somebody ought to start their own organization and get an organization going together that is a combat sports, ladies and gentlemen, and there's rules that you can't punch people in the face, ladies and gentlemen. You can't go to the ground, ladies and gentlemen. BK broke every rule that he made, ladies and gentlemen. Yet BK won, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because it was BK's organization, ladies and gentlemen. It was the Brandon K Fighting Championship, ladies and gentlemen. And BK was the judge, ladies and gentlemen. BK was the rule setter, ladies and gentlemen. BK was the referee, ladies and gentlemen. BK set the location, ladies and gentlemen. Argentini, the big New Yorker, got screwed over, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't no New Yorker. Guiliano had to go back to New York today to become a New Yorker, ladies and gentlemen. He pulled the wool over your eyes, Guiliano Argenti. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. People say that BK goes on to Mila's show and he changes the rules in that trivia game and everything. And Giuliani let BK set the rules, ladies and gentlemen. No wonder Argentini lost. Argentini is trained in kicking, ladies and gentlemen, and he wasn't allowed to kick. He wasn't allowed to go to the ground. He wasn't allowed to hit BK in the face, ladies and gentlemen. So Giuliani Argentini had to bend way down. He's 6'3", 2.5, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, like a little kid, I'm 16 and I'm 12 and a half years old, ladies and gentlemen. Giuliani Argentini's 6'2.5" ladies and gentlemen. What grown man goes around saying the half-inch, ladies and gentlemen? But Giuliani Argentini had to bend down 3 feet, which would be exposing his face, ladies and gentlemen, to try to hit BK, that fat gut of his, ladies and gentlemen. Giuliani Argentini was in a disadvantage the whole fight, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not sticking up for that fake fucker anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I'm just telling you the way it is. When a guy sets the rules that's involved in the fight, it's always to his advantage. Giuliani Argentini is stupid, ladies and gentlemen. We need a rematch, ladies and gentlemen, and Simon Feck's taking the winner, ladies and gentlemen. I'll beat both of those motherfuckers at the same time. I sound like the clown right now. I'll beat both of those motherfuckers at the same time. I've been around this game, and I go into people's gyms, ladies and gentlemen. I go see fighters. I go to the interviews. Guess what? They get you in the cage, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even a beast, ladies and gentlemen, and I can beat these two guys. It looked fake, ladies and gentlemen. It looked fake because they don't know how to fight. I'm not a loss of words right now. I'm just thinking it looks so fake, ladies and gentlemen. It was a real fight, okay? But it just, and then when you're setting all these rules, I mean, what kind of outcome? You can only punch somebody in the stomach or something, in the midsection. That's not a fight. And that is to BK's advantage, no matter how you look at it. Where most people that don't know how to fight and where you've slightly put your hands, it's basically, around your shoulder height. That's Giuliani's midsection to BK, ladies and gentlemen. Giuliani had to bend down, ladies and gentlemen. It's like a normal person trying to fight a chihuahua, ladies and gentlemen. You're bending down, you're at a disadvantage. And he's not allowed to kick. Everybody knows that Giuliani's trained in kicking people, ladies and gentlemen. Muay Thai, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Muay Thai, let me tell you something about Muay Thai, ladies and gentlemen. Muay Thai is more, let's see, how are we going to say this? The better, in Muay Thai, you want somebody to throw punches at you, ladies and gentlemen. If he's not throwing punches at you, then your Muay Thai is basically no good, ladies and gentlemen. You can't use your Muay Thai if a guy is basically not engaging with you, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're only engaging in a certain area, listen, I don't want to keep going on about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's fake. I just wanted to come on here and say that fight was fake, ladies and gentlemen. It was a real fake fight, ladies and gentlemen. You show up and you fight. I'll take any one of those two on any day. Right now. Anytime, any day. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, BK was all excited and everything. He was excited. Yeah, you get excited. The adrenaline. He was all excited and everything. You're excited about beating that guy up? And then he said he wanted to take on Clown after that. Number one, Clown is just like somebody else that doesn't show their face. Clown is a big fat guy that can barely get out of a wheelchair, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he doesn't fly, because it's an inconvenience to fly when you're in a wheelchair, ladies and gentlemen. BK is talking about taking Clown on. I would love to see you take Clown on, BK. Because Clown, I'm sure Clown would whoop your ass, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because he sounds mean. He sounds mean, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take all of them on. I'll take Clown, I'll take BK, or I'll take Giuliani. You'll see what this old man could do. The only one that seems to be training around here is the old man, Simon Feck, the bird. You gotta be kidding me, man. I guess maybe Jock used to train. I didn't say I'm taking Jock on, ladies and gentlemen, but I would. Looks like I'd take anybody on in here. That's the competition. What you see there? That's the competition. If that's what these... Listen up, and I'll tell you what, too. I swept that card yesterday. I had BK all day long, ladies and gentlemen. I swept the card, ladies and gentlemen. I predicted all one fight, ladies and gentlemen. The whole card. I predicted from the start to the finish, ladies and gentlemen, that BK was going to win that, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because BK was setting the rules for an hour before the fight started. How was Giuliani supposed to remember all this stuff? And then Giuliani was wearing out BK by telling him to come to this location. And BK's walking. And then he told him to come to another location. And BK's walking. Meanwhile, I think Giuliani was just held up in an alley just making BK walk and walk and walk, ladies and gentlemen. It was the most ridiculous thing I ever seen. Not really, but, it was ridiculous. You want to set up some real fights, you set up a fight and you show up and you fight. Oh my God. Now, people are calling that a fight. That wasn't even a fight. And then the fight is over by not kicking somebody's ass. It's over by, are you going to tap? Gio, you going to tap? You going to tap? No, it's over when you kick somebody's ass and they're bleeding like a motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fight. It wasn't no fight. It wasn't even a spar. There was nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Fake community, ladies and gentlemen. And then it continued to be fake when Clown's got to go live and get his nose into bullshit. Come on. Now bring BK. Man, I used to really like the Clown, ladies and gentlemen, but let me tell you something. When I got to sit there and listen, I got to listen to every word, ladies and gentlemen. I got to listen to every word that Clown's going to say, ladies and gentlemen. I got to listen to it all, ladies and gentlemen. All of it. And the Clown was on repeat. It was like a 5-minute loop about BK and about never coming on and being done with them and all that stuff. Yeah, when he got back on YouTube, but maybe he'll still talk about it. But to bring him on? Bring him on the show? Bringing BK on? You got to be kidding me, man. I was going to go down this whole list and say why certain people are fake on this whole list. And then I had to check into the clown show at the last minute before I got on here. And then BK's on there. You got to be kidding me, man. I wasted hours and hours and hours of my life listening to that clown talk about BK, and then he has BK on the show. The clown is fake, ladies and gentlemen, just like that fight. Having rules for a fight, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't a fight. That's a competition that BK set up, and it was all in BK's favor, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even like Giuliani, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just going to tell you right now, it was unfair in many different ways with Giuliani. To me, it's still 0-0. We got to have a fight, ladies and gentlemen. It's 0-0. Nobody won that fight. As a matter of fact, it's a technicality, and somebody should be punished by the commission, ladies and gentlemen, and that's BK for setting up rules for a fight that he's calling for. We got Douglas in here, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Side effects wondering what Douglas is going to say, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. We got some purple people eating stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Now we got some green people eating stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Somewhere in here, ladies and gentlemen. Then we got some stuff. I don't know why this stuff doesn't make it on here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a person that's blue in a wheelchair and race in person. And blue in wheelchair and race in person. And blue in wheelchair and race, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why it does that. Is it StreamYard, ladies and gentlemen? Is it this old computer that some of this is going through, ladies and gentlemen? Doug wouldn't be involved in any kind of fake fights, ladies and gentlemen. And then some other people going around trying to tell Doug didn't fight the squirrel guy or something like that. And why didn't Doug hold the camera? And then Doug's holding the camera and kicking somebody's ass, ladies and gentlemen. BK put the camera down, and then they went to the side of the camera, and then they said, hey, I think we need to kick this camera over because we're starting to get stuff on, I mean, that's kicking up. They can see our shadow and everything. And then BK took some fake blood, and he put it on Giuliani's face and stuff like that. Fake, ladies and gentlemen. We got Douglas in here, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's typing in Charles here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is, ladies and gentlemen. And then what do we got? Yeah, that's right. Cara. I don't know how to say it, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because I'm a dumb bird, ladies and gentlemen. You see that? Douglas is in here. Type it in here, ladies and gentlemen. And who do we got lurking in here, ladies and gentlemen? We got BK in here lurking in here. And we got Giuliani trying to get his girlfriend back with a black eye that he says is not black eye. He had a little bit of black here and a longer black thing here. They didn't match up. It wasn't. Usually your sleep black eyes are the same length. It's a little bit like this, or two long ones are like that. One was longer, one was shorter, ladies and gentlemen. But the rules were not to punch anybody in the face. Now, why would Giuliani have a black eye, ladies and gentlemen? Because the guy who set the rules, named BK, is going around punching Giuliani in the face, ladies and gentlemen, because he thinks he's seen a punch come to his face, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Giuliani's punching from sky high down, past your stupid pumpkin head, down to your stomach, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody doesn't put batteries in. Somebody doesn't put batteries. Listen to me. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody doesn't want to put batteries in. Because, see, Simon Feck actually doesn't have vocal cords, ladies and gentlemen. And then he always thinks, hey, the battery's going to be, they're going to last and everything like that. Kind of like Giuliani thought he was going to last, ladies and gentlemen, as he was smoking that last cigarette coming up to fight, ladies and gentlemen. Giuliani should know every trick of the game being from New York, ladies and gentlemen, and he let BK give rules to a fight, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to see BK give rules to the clown show, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, no eye gouging, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you got to be kidding me, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we got cacao. Charles Smith fears me. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people fear Douglas Memo, ladies and gentlemen. The standard head stepper, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you Douglas Memo doesn't show up. Douglas Memo knows. Listen, everybody's a bunch of pansies around here, ladies and gentlemen. These people grew up in houses with bedrooms and stuff, ladies and gentlemen, with beds in them. Okay? I hang around the gym, ladies and gentlemen, and that's where not all the tough people, but a lot of those people had a tough upbringing, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and then you hang around people on the streets, but when you live in New York, ladies and gentlemen, and you live right next to the water, ladies and gentlemen, and you grew up in a mansion, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It wasn't like a mansion that would be a mansion in Louisiana, but I'm talking about a mansion that would be like a mansion in New York City, ladies and gentlemen, worth about fucking $20 million, ladies and gentlemen. You're not necessarily growing up in a tough world, ladies and gentlemen. And then you show up and you got a childhood actor, ladies and gentlemen, that's given rules about where you can and can't punch, and you can't use your feet, and you can't go to the ground. Yet he took every one of those moves and used every one of those moves. And then he changed the rules mid-fight, ladies and gentlemen. And the New Yorker guy, he got bamboozled, ladies and gentlemen. New Yorkers are supposed to swindle people out of shit. BK, he's an actor, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. You got to be kidding me, man. I'm going to Philly, fly there and meet me there, Doug. I'll sort you out, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck, listen to me. Simon Feck is going to Philly in August for a UFC fight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So I'm just telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck will be at that card too, ladies and gentlemen. Underrated breakdown. He was clearly throwing a body shot from aerial range. Yeah, we're talking about Argentini coming down from the sky, right? Everything with it, when you're down, you're BK and you're down here, and then the 6'2.5" tall guy, you got to throw that half inch in there, ladies and gentlemen. The 6'2.5" he's only 1.5 inches bigger than me. I went to the doctor today, ladies and gentlemen. I weigh 223 pounds, and I ain't fat, ladies and gentlemen. This old bird here, I ain't no spring chicken. How do you like that one too, ladies and gentlemen? But I've been training. You know why I've been training? Because I've been in the MMA game, in the media game, and then you show up at gyms, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't say I'm a killer, but I'll fuck those guys up. I'll tell you that. Oh, my God. What I've seen there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And I ain't scared to get hurt either, ladies and gentlemen. You heard me, ladies and gentlemen. I've claimed that I've been in the cage, in the octagon with Sean Strickland. Yeah, I watched him beat 2, 3, 4 people's ass bad that come from off the street, ladies and gentlemen. If you're an idiot, you come from off the street. Simon Feck's a media guy that got in there. It's a little bit different, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. Charles, Philly is for gays. Come here, fam. I give you free GVN, whatever the fuck that means, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to mean something. I'll give you the first noogie. I don't know. We got Useless in here, ladies and gentlemen. Useless Useless today. At one point, ladies and gentlemen, Ulysses Useless, he had 13 people watching his horizontal stream, ladies and gentlemen, and his vertical was one person. Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. I had Ulysses all to myself today, ladies and gentlemen. I said, man, Ulysses going downhill, ladies and gentlemen, until I seen the horizontal stream. I was like, oh my God, this guy's going backwards, ladies and gentlemen. Ulysses does a great job, ladies and gentlemen. You know, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We got people wanting to fight. This whole community wants to fight each other now, ladies and gentlemen. No wonder people want to fight each other nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. After you see what's in the community, ladies and gentlemen. If that's the gauge, ladies and gentlemen, if that's the gauge that we're looking at. We got Guiliano Argenti with the Karate Kid flamingo look. Guiliano Argentini's been watching too many movies, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. And that's not how you throw a punch. Why throw all those little pillow punches, ladies and gentlemen? You take it, you got to turn your foot, you turn your hip and everything, ladies and gentlemen. You stay loose for speed, ladies and gentlemen, and then you tighten up. You practice it over and over. I didn't see any of that bullshit in there. You want the arm going with speed, ladies and gentlemen. Then you tighten up as you crash your fucking fist into the guy's fucking face. And you never sign up to a fight where you can't punch somebody in the face. It's not a fight. It's like going to the drag slip. It's like going to the drag strip, ladies and gentlemen, with your grandmother's fucking car. Oh my God. Oh my God. We got a paragraph in here, ladies and gentlemen. Bedrooms. I had to split half of a garage, but that's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And that right there, and I didn't even read it all yet, ladies and gentlemen. And we're talking about, listen to me. It doesn't mean it's a tough neighborhood or, you had a tough upbringing when you're splitting a garage, ladies and gentlemen. But that's like none of these fuckers did that shit. Okay? I mean, that's just a start. That you start to get an idea. None of these motherfuckers did that shit. They went camping one time in their life, ladies and gentlemen. And then begged their daddy to bring them to a hotel halfway through the night, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got? And then my brother, while her dad kept the other half of himself after shoving my mom into the small laundry room. That still doesn't mean what's outside of the house, too, ladies and gentlemen. But, I mean, you get the idea there. None of these little fuckers around here, especially what I've seen there, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't see one fighting skill in that whole fight right there. I see a guy that grew up as a childhood actor, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't know how to place a camera. Let me place the camera over here, up to the fence where we probably won't be fighting, ladies and gentlemen. And then when me and Giuliani get to the side over there, you start to look at the shadow on the ground, and they purposely kicked over the phone, ladies and gentlemen, so you don't see it and everything. Hey, you gonna tap? It's no verbal taps, BK. Giuliani cannot verbally tap, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it there. Another thing that BK was doing that you can't do, ladies and gentlemen. It was unfair. Giuliani he wasn't going to live outside of his name, ladies and gentlemen, and give a verbal tap, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking crazy and shit. You got Ulysses in here doing a smiley face, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, tell you what, Ulysses, I want you to keep the vertical stream for Simon Feck only, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if you get 3,000 people on the horizontal. I want you to kick everybody out, and I want that vertical stream all to myself, ladies and gentlemen. Because you're doing a good job at it right now, anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Woo, ladies and gentlemen. And then Charles Smith wants to say hi to Ulysses in my chat, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? There's this thing called Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. You guys want to say hello to each other? Just now I'm sounding like the clown, ladies and gentlemen. And there's none of the clown's business, ladies and gentlemen. He's done with this person and that person and this person. I waste my time listening to the clown. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's right. All right, clown. Yeah, get him, clown. Next thing you know, clown's up there, he's sniffing. I had to stop what I'm saying there. Listen, you got Charles Smith in here and Douglas that love the clown. Simon Feck loves the clown too, ladies and gentlemen. But when I got to do 27 hours of BK, he's done with BK, and then he has BK on there because BK had a powder puff. I mean, it's like a sleepover, ladies and gentlemen. I'm surprised that the feathers didn't come running out of the pillow, for the pillow fight, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I couldn't put that together, but that's what I'm trying to say. That wasn't a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody won the fight. You know why? Because it wasn't a fight. Oh, my God. Let's do a clown show UFC meetup in Philly, August 15th. Okay, so actually I was talking to somebody today, and it was a to-do person, right, in the UFC, right? And they're like, well, we're talking about things. When's that? It was August. I think it was August 15th. But you're talking about the day of the fight, right? So whenever the fights start, so probably 5 o'clock UFC Philadelphia, 5 o'clock. And then that means I need to be in the building at 3 o'clock. So then the meetup needs to be if the 15th the day of the fight, at like noon. Okay, it's got to be early. Because listen, it's like the media thing. There's like let's say there's 30 people. Why can't this person that I go there with? Why can't you just go to the line to get your media credentials like at 3 o'clock? No, we gotta get line at 1:30 to be in front of 30 people. And then the line only takes 15 minutes to go through. So anyways, it's got to be like noon, Charles, because like at 1 o'clock or 1:30 or something, I got to head. It depends on where it's at too, but you get my point, ladies and gentlemen. Friday before the fights, we all meet up at the bar, Xfinity. Okay, so that Xfinity thing, my friend Dave, hold on a second. Dave Cranston basically runs that thing. He's a friend of Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. David Cranston, and he is he's like the second or third or fourth hand man at BKFC, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck doesn't know anybody in this business, ladies and gentlemen. What I missed? Combat Casual? What did I miss? I'm watching a different screen, ladies and gentlemen. It took me a while to figure it out, right? I'm watching a different screen, and it takes about 5 seconds. Combat Casual just donated $2 super chat. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. I don't know. Let me tell you something. Idaho, which is not his name anymore, ladies and gentlemen, but Combat Casual, he's going to be shy this week of 3 ramen noodles, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what he's going to wither away to nothing, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Combat Casual, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me 3 ramen noodles, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you what, too, ladies and gentlemen. That combat casual guy was not the guy that Doc Simon Feck. You got MMA Cam, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think he changed his name from Cam Hassel to MMA Cam, ladies and gentlemen? Let me tell you something, combat casual. You're going to have to probably fight. You're going to probably have to fight for your right to claim that you Doc Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because MMA Cam claims to be the doxer. He found out first, ladies and gentlemen. It was all a setup. You look at that first video. The first video is there on purpose. I mean, it was like anybody could have figured it out. It was a piece of cake, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. And then when you get doxed, ladies and gentlemen, when you get doxed, it's easier to dox other people, ladies and gentlemen, and people give you like the green slip on that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. What else we got? Oh, can you Simon Feck Giuliani into an MMA guru? Can you Simon Feck a what? Can you Simon Feck a Giuliani into MMA guru? Can you Simon Feck a Giuliani into a MMA guru? Can you Simon Feck a I'll have to put that in the AI and see if the AI can figure that out, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, a lot of times the clown can't figure stuff out, and I'm like, I'm at home and I can figure it out. I just can't figure that out. Can you Simon Feck a Giuliani into a MMA guru? Can I wharf into this, into that, and then that? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. We got Giuliani in here with a woot, ladies and gentlemen, coming up. I got to rework this thing out here. Can you win the fight, but Simon Feck wins the war? Man, this is too combat casual is too deep for me, ladies. It's too deep for me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till Giuliani hears what's going on in here. And then later on down in the chat, we got a guy living in a $60 million house, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck does a video, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck does a video and puts this, what was 106 or 103 or $104 million house, ladies and gentlemen. That's in San Diego. It's the biggest and most expensive house in San Diego in the video. And this guy here, MMA consultant, you would think if he's in a $60 million house in San Diego, ladies and gentlemen, he would know. Yeah, it's $104 million, I think. He would know about the $104 million house. You know why? Because the $60 million house would rub elbows with the $104 million house, ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't you think? Or at least know about it? It was in the video, ladies and gentlemen. And consultant never mentioned a word about it, ladies and gentlemen. MMA consultants living in a $60 cracker box, ladies and gentlemen. $60. But I see him down in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Guiliano Argenti, no verbal taps, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Giuliani messed up. The New Yorker guy got swindled, ladies and gentlemen, by having an actor from California make the rules of the fight, the whole fight was to the disadvantage of Giuliano Argenti, whatever the hell his name is, ladies and gentlemen. Unfair to Giuliano Argenti. Very unfair, ladies and gentlemen. Lower level tickets to UFC Philadelphia are $1,500, $2,000. What the fuck? Simon Feck doesn't pay a dime, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Haha, 130 is gay. I don't know what that is, ladies and gentlemen. I know what gay is, ladies and gentlemen, and I know what 130 is, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't know what 130 gay is, ladies and gentlemen. What that pertains to, ladies and gentlemen. We got the casual combat guy. And if this actually is the casual combat guy, ladies and gentlemen, listen, around here, the guy formerly known as Idaho, ladies and gentlemen, we run a tight ship around here, ladies and gentlemen. We only talk about fight. I swept the card yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. I predicted the one fight, and I predicted it, ladies and gentlemen. I swept the card yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. You know why I swept it? Not knowing who can fight better, ladies and gentlemen. It's the guy making the rules, ladies and gentlemen. Of course he's going to make the rules to make himself win, ladies and gentlemen. I'm surprised he didn't tell Giuliani to cut his legs off at his knees so he'd be at the same height. And he'd rather bleed. He'd bleed out in like, what, 5 seconds or whatever. I know it's a stupid analogy. You got a guy making rules for an hour before the fight. Not just an hour before the fight, a whole hour before the fight. Oh my God. You can't fight a fight when a guy that you're fighting makes the rules and is the judge and he's the referee. And he said where the fight's going to be. Oh my God. Trying to make a man say, tap out. It's no verbal taps, ladies and gentlemen. Casually combative 69, ladies and gentlemen. This 69 right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the same FU 69 guy, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. He's the best troll out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is FU 69, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't Combat Casual. Combat Casual wouldn't come in somebody else's stream and say bullshit because he doesn't allow it on his stream, ladies and gentlemen. We got Tone K in here, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. He says fact, ladies and gentlemen, with an exclamation point. And let me tell you something. And 2 of them, too, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something, Tone. Giuliani is going to yell at you for doing that, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not proper to put 2 exclamation points, back to back, next to each other. It's 1 and 1 only. Putting an extra explanation point doesn't make it any louder that you're shouting it, ladies and gentlemen, or putting, you're putting some oomph behind it or whatever the hell it's supposed to mean or do or whatever. It's 1 explanation point, and it does the whole job of a little bit to a lot to whatever and everything. It doesn't double up. It's not multiplication table or whatever the hell. Oh, my God, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I didn't miss one, ladies and gentlemen. No, yeah, we miss this guy right here. Haha, Idaho going to be starving on Memorial Weekend. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Idaho, listen, Idaho, right? Some people say, well, never mind. Okay, Idaho, the guy that lives like in Montana or somewhere, right? So he lives way up there in the cold, right? He doesn't obviously put heat on because he can't afford it, ladies and gentlemen. He's dressed up. He's in the house and he's dressed up like he's like the South, like in Antarctica, ladies and gentlemen. So him giving me $2, ladies and gentlemen, he was going to barbecue. He was going to barbecue his ramen noodles, ladies and gentlemen. You know that guy. You know Combat Casual with his low view count, ladies and gentlemen. And here's another thing too. Your commercials, you don't make as much money when you're doing the one fight, and you got people from 3rd world countries, ladies and gentlemen. You're not making that much money. I went in there and checked out Combat Casual not too long ago, right? And it was about the 3rd fight on the card of, I don't know, 20 fights or something. Like a 1 fight thing or whatever. And there was like 5 people in there. And he said if a couple more people don't come in, he's leaving. The guy gives up mid-fight companion, ladies and gentlemen. How are you supposed to get people behind you, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure Combat Casual can definitely figure out a way to get people behind him, ladies and gentlemen. We're losing people now because we stopped talking about Guiliano Argenti and BK's fake fight, ladies and gentlemen. Only one I doxed was being down at the docks with my cousin Jimmy the Shoe. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's starting to sound like a Tom thing, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe Casual is Tom. It's a simple question. I don't know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. We got some Tone K's giving LOL. Now we got some what's his name in here? Douglas. He rubs elbows and salt in his console tent with people who trust him. And then Doug's got all the little visual things there, ladies and gentlemen. Ida rollerblades like fruitcake. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. The Combat Casual guy, his parents, when he was just a little, when Combat Casual was just a little tiny thing, right? After he got pooped out of his mom's butt, right? When he was born, right? After he got pooped out, right? He was just this little tiny thing. And you can't figure out anybody. You can't figure out anybody's personality, right? His parents picked the perfect name for this guy, because he's all sassy and like a big sissy and everything like that. Okay? I don't want to call him gay, but I mean, basically Combat Casual is like a gay sissy boy or something like that. I mean, that's the way other people perceive him. I didn't say that. I mean, you should know, if you knew what his real first name was, ladies and gentlemen, it's very fitting, ladies and gentlemen. If Combat Casual was to go to a gay club, somebody would look at him and they go, "Are you so?" And he would go, "Yeah, that's my name." Yeah, I mean, it's his name is so gay, it's so fitting, ladies and gentlemen. No, and I don't hate Combat Casual. You know why? Because MMA Cam had to step up. That's the thing too. When people dox, right? When people dox somebody, everybody's got to claim it. I heard that about like the MMA Guru. People are claiming who doxed him. I mean, they're trying to be popular or something. It's like confessing to a murder charge or something. I got 3 people saying that they doxed me. They were the first one. Yet I got it. The very first video on this channel right here. The very first video. It's right there. How could you dox somebody when it's right there? It's plain as day. It's right there. It's already out there. And the fool is on you. That's how I got to dox. What's his name? Combat Casual guy. I'm not going to say his real name, but when you look at him and you go, "Hey, that's a gay guy," and then you just start blurting names out, one of the first names that you're going to blurt out is actually his real first name. Oh my God. Oh my God. No verbal taps. That's right. That's right. So BK has Guiliano Argenti down. Supposedly, you can't see it, right? The guy that grew up in Hollywood doesn't know how to set a camera up, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't know how to set a camera up. You think about that. Think about somebody's going to be in a fight and somebody puts a camera up. There's a huge sidewalk too, right? Somebody puts a camera up, you're going to lean it up against something, and somehow, I mean, it's possible, right? But somehow somebody's foot knocks it over. You need to look at the shadows. It looks like somebody came over and knocked the camera over, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying it was a fake fight. I'm just saying it looks like a fake fight because they don't know how to fight. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, man. And then we got Duggar saying, Duggar. And we got Douglas saying, "What?" Which, back then, now I know how it's so difficult when you're behind in the chat here. Then you got Tone K going, "Ha, ha, ha." Guiliano Argenti explained how Tone K got doxxed. He was explaining it to Clown or something like that. Guiliano Argenti, how he doxed Tone K, ladies and gentlemen. Tone K, the German guy, ladies and gentlemen. From Germany, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to go any further in the story there, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we're going to leave that story, ladies and gentlemen. I hate fuck you 69. Yeah. Yeah, you know, that fuck you 69 came into my chat a while back. Trying to think. I don't know, man. I was thinking it was actually clown for a little while. I don't know. But whoever this combat casual is, because I'm not buying it's combat casual himself. I believe this was the FU 69 guy, just because the 69's there. Did you not like? So that's who it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you a little story. Listen to me. I figured somebody was going to get butt hurt, right, ladies and gentlemen? It's got nothing to do with it. Let's say Simon Feck. This is a short story, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say Simon Feck never really has been in anybody's Discord, so to speak. Yeah, a few, right? I only got introduced. I heard about Discords because I'm sitting next to James Lynch, and I'm sitting next to Jose Youngs, and I'm sitting next to Amy Kaplan, and they're always talking about Discords and everything, right? And then how like James Lynch got in a fight with, I don't know, was it Moss from the MMA Holes, or was it MMA Joey or something like that, right? But they're always talking about Discords. I never got into the Discords, right? I'm sitting next to all these idiots, right? And that's what they are. So, anyways, I finally got introduced to Discords because, like, Kanato said, hey, you need to set up a, maybe he didn't, maybe it's somebody else. I don't know. Somebody had me set one up, right? So I set it up. Barely been in anybody's Discord. Now I'm going to answer the question. This Discord that I was in recently, there's so many notifications. There's so many notifications. I have 3 phones, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many notifications. It's always going off. It's ding, ding, ding. I looked 5 different times, and I looked it up like an AI and everything to tell me how to turn the notifications off. I turned the notifications off 50 fucking times, ladies and gentlemen, and it still fucking came in. The only reason I left the Discord, it's not because I enjoyed being in that Discord. I enjoyed it a lot. And maybe if I could sign up for the Discord every Saturday and then pop out every Sunday, somebody's got to tell me how to turn the notifications off. These guys are in this Discord and they Discord away, man. Does that answer your question there? Okay. Now I know. No wonder 69. No wonder 69 is so good at what he does, ladies and gentlemen. I get it now, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mr. Feck. I like that thumbnail, bro. Let me tell you something, Ulysses. Let me tell you something. It's not real. No, I'm just kidding. You know. And then who we got? Ulysses in here laughing, right? And then we got MMA consultant laughing, right? And then we got fam basically gay. Probably talking about something back then. I was talking about being gay. The fake fight was gay. That fight was gay, ladies and gentlemen. And here's what I want Combat Casual 69. Because, right, listen to me. You gotta follow along here, ladies and gentlemen. We're losing people because I started talking outside of the Giuliani and the BK thing, right? I want Combat Casual 69 to one day do like a reaction video to the video and explain the whole thing. Like, do a fight companion to it. I want I want Combat Casual 69. Now listen to me. Combat Casual 69 to do it and explain everything. Explain probably how the camera got knocked over. Explain all the rules that were set up ahead of time and by who and why. Explain why the 6'2.5" guy had to punch way down by his knees in this fight. Nobody spars like that. Nobody trains like that. Huge disadvantage to Guiliano Argenti. Mr. Karate Kid himself in the flamingo fucking position. Oh my God. It's like I had to run down to that movie, ladies. It was like maybe Combat Casual 69 knows something about this. It was like a D movie, a remake, a bad remake of Karate Kid. Why? Two movie makers, ladies and gentlemen. Two guys in the movie business, and they can't video it. Oh my God, this is the number one thing. Oh my God. That's the best part of the whole thing, Douglas. Okay, maybe I need to do like, because I like to do shorts, right? I got to do a short on this one. Oh my God. I don't know what to call them. Those are jazz hands? Oh my God. I just wanted to call it like it was like two gay guys outside of a gay club fighting each other. Those were I've been in a lot of gyms, ladies and gentlemen, and then I've been in like like Extreme Couture and Jackson Wink and all that stuff, like big, and then I've been in stupid ones where like some idiot, I don't know, starts a gym, right? But basically everybody knows you don't have too many sissies. They don't last very long in the gym. You never see anybody punch with jazzy hands like that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, oh my God, that's shit that you see on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, when you're looking at two drunk gay guys outside of a bar. Those jazzy hand punches, and like BK said, ladies and gentlemen. BK said that they didn't hurt. They didn't look like they hurt at all, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like somebody trying to tickle somebody, and I'm being for real, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's like this. I don't know, where can you say like this? Like you're going to tickle somebody, ladies and gentlemen. And then like this, and like nothing's extending, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody that knows how to throw a punch, when you've been trained to throw a punch, it's like a kid that doesn't know how to throw a baseball. That's a good explanation right there. It's like me if I go to try to throw a baseball with my left hand. That's what those punches look like. They look like all left-handed punches from somebody that's right-handed. And it doesn't work like that with punches, but they explain with a baseball it does. No wonder. No wonder. Like with BK, I want to call BK a different name right now, but because other things are going on, right? No wonder BK looked like unscathed. That's not a fight. He hurt his wrist because he fell down trying to move the phone, the camera. For their fake fight. You grabbed my hip. No, I didn't. Well, how did he take him down? How did they get to the ground, ladies and gentlemen? You better tap, Jill. You better tap. Oh my God! But I mean, I'm telling you right now, the greatest thing was those jazzy hands, man. I could watch that all fucking day long. Oh my God! I don't like Gio, but if it was a real fight, it was set up in BK's favor, ladies and gentlemen. That fight never happened. Nobody won a fight. Even if the fight did happen, nobody won that fight. That was not a fight. You need to run it back, ladies and gentlemen. And let's do it where you don't get in trouble, since you guys are going to show up. Dude, you could do that same shit at a gym and not get in trouble. You got somebody that doesn't like you is going to take that video and call the cops on you, fucking stupid asses. All right, Doug, man. I mean, oh my God. I think I'm going to be watching that forever, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I won't, but like on my tombstone, ladies and gentlemen, they won't be engraving like your tombstone anymore. You'll have like a video playing and like a hologram on your tombstone, which nobody's getting buried anymore, anyways. But I want I want those jazzy hands on my tombstone running in a loop. Simon Feck put up a good fight, and everybody will think that's me with those jazzy hands putting up a good fight. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, good stream, Simon Feck. Fantastic content. Yeah. Man, but okay. Now, the whole time, right? So, yeah. You got two guys showing up to a real fight, even though it got cluttered with all the freaking rules from this guy named BK, right? It got all cluttered up, right? So it's hard to have a fight if you can't punch somebody in the face. That's not a fight to me. You might as well BJJ. Bunch of pussy fucking bullshit, right? And me and media, I got to go watch that fucking BJJ shit. There's things I want to name that I don't want to name that I'd rather be watching than BJJ. And then watching a fight that you can't punch somebody in the face. You can't go to the ground. You can't kick. You can only tickle somebody's belly because Guiliano Argenti was trying to tickle somebody's belly and that thing like that. Oh my God. It's like tickling the Pillsbury Doughboy. And BK being the Pillsbury Doughboy, the little doughboy himself, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, so I got out of BK's thing, so I'm just checking things out, right? Very interesting being in BK's Discord and everything like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's very enjoyable, ladies and gentlemen. We sit back and we watch the clown and we talk about the clown, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we do, all of us. It's like a big marshmallow roasting thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's like there's more people in there in BK's Discord watching the clown show than they're on the clown show, ladies and gentlemen. The clown show will have like 24 people. We'll have like 31 in the Discord watching the clown show, talking in real time about the clown show. It's like I'm over there. I'm in the enemy's Discord, ladies and gentlemen. You just go in somebody's Discord. I know they don't let Doug in there, right? You go in the enemy's Discord and tell them that you like them, ladies and gentlemen. You learn all the secrets and everything, ladies and gentlemen. I learned that Jimmy the Drunk has a more exciting life than most of these people in this MMA community. Jimmy the Drunk has something to do for 5 months, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody else is on people's streams, rocking back and forth to everybody's streams that keeps having the same argument. By the way, Simon Feck's got something big coming up. What do we got here? I'd love to take Amy Kaplan out on a date. Okay. Well, let me tell you something about Amy Kaplan. Very, very nice girl. Well, maybe I can't. Well, like this, right? This. Maybe I can say it this way. I told you today that I went to the doctor, but Simon Thegg has barely been to the doctor in his whole life because Simon Thegg's never really had anything wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? So Simon Thegg is, good to go. Just went to the doctor to go to the doctor today. Weighed in at 223 pounds at 6'1", ladies and gentlemen. And I ain't fat. Amy Kaplan has been to the doctor a few times, ladies and gentlemen. Amy Kaplan's a nice lady, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's the one thing that you don't know about Amy Kaplan. She's not moving around that much anymore. She did one in like the last 6 months, year. She's been to one UFC thing. She's scraping interviews from the UFC, like the B-roll, but really the interviews and everything. And it sort of looks like she's there, but she's not there. She's sort of like stuck at home. Okay. Oh, yeah. BK69. Ladies and gentlemen, Douglas says that BK69, ladies and gentlemen. With a question mark, ladies and gentlemen. You think the odds on BK might be overinflated come his next bout? Okay. Right before Argentini goes into his haircut, right? He couldn't stop smirking. Was that a nervous smirk, or was it he knew that it was like, it was going to be like powder puff football, ladies and gentlemen? It was like powder puff football. It was flag fucking football, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. BK had a big head and everything, and he's calling clown out. And they say, people that you don't hear, Doug doesn't go around bragging. Yet Doug can sit there and tell you about this fight and that fight. Those are the people that that fight, right? Here's my analogy with the clown. The clown finally at one point said he'd been in about 15 fights. He only could recall 3 fights, but not really 3 fights. He can only recall like 1.5 that he started explaining things about. And yet the one solid full fight one was very vague, ladies and gentlemen. The other one was like a location. The clown is not a fighter, ladies and gentlemen. Guaranteed. 100%, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a big mouth, right? So BK starts having a big mouth. Or he's high on life, ladies and gentlemen. He just beat up Guiliano Argenti, the goddamn fucking flamingo guy. He's a movie guy, and he's there, and he's mimicking the flamingo stance from fucking Karate Kid, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you gotta be kidding me, man. Oh, yeah, then like Jock's talking about, Giuliani's front leg and everything like that. And then he said, Giuliani's like, oh, he saw the fight footage, and he's talking about, yeah, I wish I didn't put my leg up like that or whatever like that, because I really couldn't use it for defense and everything. Again, a New Yorker's getting taught. He is a true New Yorker, but a real true New Yorker doesn't get bamboozled like that by letting somebody else make the rules, and especially about a fight. That's why it also seems why it's so goddamn fake. Now, I forgot the question or whatever, right? Oh, yeah, okay. So then BK is walking away. Yeah, he's high. You get high. You get scared. Sometimes you don't get scared. Sometimes, like Simon Thegg gets that monkey strength, like I don't know where the strength comes from. It's weird. It doesn't always come. That's what sucks balls. But BK is high. The adrenaline's running. And he's calling out clown. I seriously, even though clown's never been in a fucking fight except for 1.5 times, probably amounted to about what we've seen of that fight the other day, if you want to call it a fight. And then the clown goes around. BK, there's no way. I never even seen the clown. BK cannot beat the clown up. You know why? Because BK can't beat fucking jack shit up. I would love to see BK find another person that he could beat up. He'll have a hard time to find somebody other than Giuliani that he could beat up. Even though Giuliani had an unfair advantage again. There's nothing, you can't, it's not fair for Giuliani to have a loss on this one when the rule, he's got to bend down and fight like from his fucking knees. No, BK is not going to beat another soul up. He better go back to Giuliani for his next fucking fight and then fucking retire. I love UFC BJJ. Well, listen here. Listen here. Let me cook you a little bit. Let me put you on this island and cook you a little bit, Matua. Of course you like BJJ. And that's what fucking gay men like. They like they like going and getting, like, I don't know. I go to the fucking thing. You got these guys. They walk in. We're sitting there. We're training on the fucking big bags, and we're doing this we're fucking rolling and shit and everything. And then this fucking older guy comes in with his fucking gi on. Okay, and then one of the fucking trainers guys got to go over there and fucking BJJ with him, and it seems so fucking gay. And that guy just wants to get some touchy, feely-feelies the way it looks like to me. That's what the fuck BJJ is. Oh, then you're going to go, oh, Simon Feck, there's this and there's that, and, like this and everything. Well, guess what? Fucking Douglas Memo's going to punch you in the face before you get a chance to fucking, I don't know, fucking put your arms around somebody's fucking balls and fucking stroke them and shit. BJJ fucking bullshit. No problem. I'll be enjoying being stuck at home with her, keeping her company. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. She barely rolls out. She might be there International Fight Week. I'm telling you, man, she's a great girl. I like Amy Kaplan a lot. She's a good girl. She's a good person. I sit next to her a lot, or have. Yeah. I mean, I know her. I don't have her number or anything like that. I mean, I can get in touch with her and everything, but we'll see. If she's there, well, I'll know Wednesday. International Fight Week. I'll know Wednesday if she's there or not. So then you got the rest of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't know if she, like some of us, we leave Saturday night. You catch the last flight or two out. This time I'm staying till Sunday night because I got some stuff going on, some big stuff. Okay, maybe Douglas Memo. That's gonna be something. I mean, I don't know. She seems like a goody girl though. Like not like goody, but I don't know. I don't know how much of the gangster stuff she does. Let's put it that way, without saying things. Doug needs a tune-up. I'll give him his come on, like there you go. Like I got a bird brain, dude. I'm supposed to read that word. Come on, pants. Jesus Christ. We got the A change 999, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, this person was the first, the second, the third, the fourth, or the fifth, or the sixth. Either the first or up to the sixth to sign up for Simon Feck 1 Foot Cock's YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm only up to like 430 something or whatever like that. Who cares, right? Clown, is that loudmouth guy who gets beat up a lot? Clown, is that loudmouth guy who gets beat up a lot? Are you calling me clown? I don't have the clown outfit on right now, ladies and gentlemen. Clown. Is that loudmouth guy? Is that the loudmouth guy who gets beat up a lot? Is that, are we missing a word in here? Or is you talking about me? Clown, is that loudmouth guy being Giuliani who gets beat up a lot? I don't know, man. It's tough when you get behind on chat, ladies and gentlemen. Or we're missing a word or two. Charles Smith, I will be Smiley. You're on the headed in front of your stray cats. We got some shots firing in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Good girls deserve happiness. She's a good one. That's for sure. OG subscriber. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A change 999, ladies and gentlemen. A change. That's right. Because I can't think of anybody else. To me, you're number one no matter what. If you were the first one or not. There was two of you there at the beginning. It was you and some girl that I couldn't pronounce her name. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we got another one here, ladies and gentlemen. Who would you like to see as next opponent? Who would you like to see as next opponent? Now, next opponent being BK? BK's opponent? Called Doug the Wigger. Listen, I'm telling you, man. I wasn't going to read it, and then I read it and everything like that. So then I heard BK talking about this stuff and everything like that yesterday after his fight, and then Doug came in and everything like. I don't play that game, man. I know it's it's a term and everything like that. I don't know. I just don't play that game and everything. I don't really need that shit in my chat though. Doug handles things very well. I mean, I don't know how he handles it, because if I was Doug, I would be on many fucking goddamn airplanes. I'm telling you. But and then everybody, yeah, that's it too. It's the fucking keyboard warriors around here. You got if it was a real fight, and I believe it was a real fight, even though I'm making fun of it, you got to give props to these two guys showing up, because no other pussies around here besides Douglas Memble, the fucking clown, ain't showing up fucking jack shit nowhere. Go backstage and we'll set shit up. Notice he hasn't been anywhere. He can only recall 1.5 fights, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And Gio. Oh, yeah, okay, all right. I would seriously like to see those two run it back. Without rules, ladies and gentlemen. And BK, if you can't get your pretty little face, come on, man. You got your best skin on your face. You should know that, right? You're in the fight game, right? The best skin that you have on your body is on your fucking face, okay? A lot of times it doesn't scar up, okay? I don't know what you... I mean, yeah, broken nose ain't all that great and everything like that. Giuliani's... he definitely ain't going to break your nose. If Giuliani would have to fall on you like a fucking redwood falling on you to fucking hurt you, dude. Those punches ain't going to break your nose, I'll tell you that. I don't see Giuliani drawing any blood on you. I haven't seen his footwork yet, but his fucking hands ain't going to draw blood, dude. They need to run it back without rules. But, like, not rules like eye gouging like the fucking stupid-ass clown would talk about. The clown supposedly is the exact same size as me. He's 6'1", like 220 pounds. He wasn't that, but I guess he got jacked up. And then I said I was 220 pounds, and now I went to the doctor. I'm 223 today. I said I was 220, and he said I was fat. And that was like 3 months ago. Now he's that. We are the exact same weight and height. And I guarantee he's basically the same age as me. I'll fight the clown any fucking day. BK and Giuliani need to fight each other again. Unfair. I said it 5,000 times. It's unfair for Giuliani in that fucking fight, bending down that fucking far. And supposedly that front leg was trained that he couldn't use. That he said he would use his front leg for defense. And then, as far as I know, BK didn't throw any leg kicks. So Giuliani's so fucking tall and BK's so short. Giuliani was going to use that front leg to block punches, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if those two aren't going to run it back, and rules, but not stupid fucking rules like that. No fucking eye gouging. No fucking no what is it? Yeah, I got some words for it, but I don't want to say it, So, if Giuliani was to fight somebody else, he called out clown. Why doesn't that happen? And then maybe I fight Giuliani. How about that? And we'll do it in fucking North Fayetteville. Matter of fact, even more north of North Fayetteville, there's Elm Springs up there. It's got like big open fucking fields and shit. Like people, they live on like 5-acre stretches, right? And they got these big long gravel driveways. Most of them all have trees around the property, so you really can't see the neighbors' stuff. And it's this road. You get on this road and it's got a left turn, and it goes a little bit, and it's got a right turn. And there's all these houses, and then a lot of these houses, they have like a regular house on it, like probably like a 3,000, anywhere from like 2,400 square foot to 3,500 square foot house. And then like a lot of them will have like a mobile home or two on the property too, because they have kids that won't fucking leave the nest. You know what I'm saying? So then you got people like with multiple homes there in Elm Springs, north of North Fayetteville. We could also probably find somebody that has like, I don't know, like an open field or something. We could have a fight there. So maybe BK can fight the clown, and I'll fight Guiliano Argenti with them fucking jazzy hands. If BK and Giuliani won't have a real fucking fight, because BK's got to bring all these fucking stupid ass fucking rules into it. Yeah, there's one way to explain it. No low life shit. Just have a real fucking fight, And when the guy's knocked out, that's when the fight's fucking over. Or if a guy's leaking way too much, then the fight's over. If a guy quits, but he can't quit, you gotta give him something. If he's gonna quit after one or two punches, then you give him like, some low life shit. And make sure he's fucking hurt before the fucking fight's over. Bullshit. BK, I think you're bleeding. There might have been some blood there. They had to get a magnifying glass to find his fucking. He got a little fucking scratch on his nose that the barber probably fucking gave it to him. Because he was too busy looking at his phone, reading the fucking chat. Fight somebody or don't fight anybody at all. That wasn't a real fight. Where are we at in the goddamn chat now? Yes, Gio, and we got some people typing in. We got Charles Smith laughing with 3 green fucking dudes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a birder. What does that mean, Douglas? I'm a birder. That can mean you have birds. That can mean you hunt birds. That can mean, like you get binoculars and you go out birding. With the hard R. I'm a birder with the hard R, yeah. Simon Feck, did BK Argenti really fight? Yeah, they really did. I was making fun of it. It was to me, it was definitely a real fight. You could also say that it was a fake fight. I don't know, man. It was really weird the way Argentini was smirking before he went in to get the haircut. It's almost like he couldn't stop laughing, like like you're keeping a secret, like a joke or whatever. And then this freaking phone gets kicked over. A phone, the chances of the phone getting kicked over that's leaned up against a tree or a fucking street sign, it's amazing how a fucking 22-second fight can have a phone knock over. And then they're down rolling around on the ground, rolling in no time at all. How did he get his back? Giuliani says that BK grabbed his hips. And BK says, no, I didn't. As far as I know, I didn't listen to any of the clown thing. Guaranteed I listened to less than 15 seconds. I just go, BK's on there. I just forwarded to one spot, one random spot. And BK was on there. That's holy shit. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch the clown show again. It's bullshit. I listened to all that bullshit, and then fucking 2 seconds later, BK's on the show. And that goes the same thing. Argenti keeps going on it. And fucking Miley keeps going on it. Yeah, I'm getting baited into this shit, and shit doesn't happen. At least make it look good, and I'll have BK on for a month. So to answer your question, it was a real fight. It looked like a fake fight. Did it amount to anybody get hurt? No. Somebody got their nose scratched. And a fucking rear naked choke got put on, and not even enough pressure. Had the full fucking thing. Not even worn out. Yeah, it's hard in the first round, to choke somebody out. You're talking about a professional fighter. He's choking the guy, yet he's talking. He doesn't have enough strength to put on a fucking choke. It's very suspicious if that was a real fight or not. Because when you're going to fake punch somebody in the face and then somebody gets punched in the face because they're not used to. Let me tell you something. The guy BKFC, right? I hang around this guy, right? Nobody knows it in here, but, well, okay. I have a custom fucking car, right? All right, never mind. Some boxers train not to hit. They think that's like, it's kind of like a newer thing, right? So you're hitting a heavy bag or whatever like this, and you're doing everything you can, but you're stopping right before you punch. Now these guys they make a rule that not to punch the other guy in the face. Probably because they would have accidentally punched somebody in the face, and then they would have went home crying. It's very suspicious if it was a real fight or not. And you got like 53 views on it. If Hunt would just do the Patty Pimlet thing with me for 15 fucking minutes, I guarantee you it goes fucking viral. I got a few jokes written out. That's all he had to do. A few things. He won't do it. These guys go into a fake fucking fight and get 53 fucking views. Everybody's talking about it, and it goes over to the clown show, and it goes over here and everything, and it doesn't go to their channels. I don't know. I'm going to call it a real fight. It's suspicious to be a fake fight. I'm telling you that bullshit. It's a fake fight when you got to put all these rules into it, too. It's not a fight. It's a competition. They had a competition. Yeah, it's a fake fight. There you go. That's the end of the story. Fake fucking fight. You don't go into a fight with rules. Ask Douglas. Ask Douglas how many fights he's been into in his like 33-6 or whatever he is. 43-6 or whatever it is. Ask Doug how many fights he went into that had fucking rules. I would say none. BK Argentini fight was fake. In Philadelphia, you got to hit up Xfinity Live before UFC. It's a huge bar right next to the arena. Listen, did I go backwards in the chat? Are you talking to other people? I just told you I know the guy who runs the place. I've been on I've been on fucking Thursday night football when the fucking goddamn Tampa Bay, I'm in the media for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nobody knows that. Now you fucking know it, right? So I go up there. I'm in that fucking stadium. I'm in the media. I'm there. I know that place. I just told you that Dave Cranston, the fucking second or third or fourth hand guy in BK fucking FC, runs the fucking goddamn place. I don't know what you're talking about here, Charles. You're my buddy, man. I'm just telling you. Yeah, I know that. Maybe you're telling other people. I know that place well. I go there. I'm in media. I'm a big motherfucker. Not saying my size. I'm saying I'm a big, bad motherfucker. All right. I'm not yelling at you. You're my buddy, but I'm just telling you. Maybe you're telling other people. You look at who's here now, ladies and gentlemen. Look at who's here now, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Doxer himself, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Cam 1, 2, 3, ladies and gentlemen. That's never been. Look at that. Look at that picture right there. He's never met anyone in that picture right there, ladies and gentlemen. He's never been to Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? MMA Cam is a fraud, ladies and gentlemen. He claims to be a big bad doxer of side effect 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Your buddy Cam. I haven't read the thing yet. Let me tell you something. Everybody should be jealous. Cam lives in a great place to live, ladies and gentlemen. You might get bored out of your mind, ladies and gentlemen. But Cam lives in fucking Wonderland, ladies and gentlemen. Jealous of that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me read the goddamn thing now. Like a fucking redwood. Yeah. I just hit the thing. The only way Argentini, no verbal taps would hurt BK is if he like he was a tree and he got chopped down and he was like a big ass fucking redwood, a sequoia, whatever, redwood tree, and fell on fucking the gnome BK. BK looks like a gnome with that fucking gray fucking goddamn fucking stupid ass fucking, what is that fucking thing? The gnome BK walking around in the redwoods, and fucking Argentini fell on him like a redwood. It's the only way that he would hurt him. There's no way Argentini can hurt BK with fucking punches like that. My fucking dead grandmother could punch harder than that. Fuck, like Douglas said, like jazzy. It's like fucking gay shit. Like, it's like the awkward kid that can't do fucking sports? But Argentini's a great fucking soccer player. But the kid that gets not like the fat kid and the kid that's not coordinated. That's what them fucking punches look like. Now, if you look at MMA Cam, right? MMA Cam, he's with all his buddies, right? And like his brother's older than him and bigger than him and everything. And everybody around Cam, now he could get away with this because he's younger than everybody. But Cam's way shorter than everybody. And they're in this picture, right? And it's like on the shoreline, right? The shoreline means there's water behind them. I don't know if it's a lake or like some kind of inlet that goes out and there's a mountain behind him and everything. But Cam's this little short guy, ladies and gentlemen. Probably because he's not short, he's just younger than everybody. But they all got mustaches. Let me tell you something. Little Cam could beat little tiny fucking Cam. He says he's 6 foot tall. He must have shot up when he turned 23 years old, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing is, Cam Cam could beat Guiliano Argenti. And Cam going around bragging that he was the first guy to dox fucking Simon Feck. It was tough to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. The very first video on the fucking YouTube has it right on there. it's right out there. I break vending machines with my punches, says Alan the Fallen Angel. Now this is Tom, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Tom. The guy that spends the night at Guiliano Argentini's house, ladies and gentlemen. Did you ever try your punches on your buddy Guiliano? Have you ever been punched by your buddy Guiliano Argenti? Breaking vending machines. The glass, you're trying to make it sound like, you're breaking like the metal part of it. You ain't breaking the metal part of it. Breaking the glass, maybe. There's Tom with some fucking shit, I can see Gio drawing blood with his reach, especially with elbows. Yeah, I mean, Guiliano was for his training, Muay Thai. You have to have somebody punching at you to utilize your Muay Thai. He didn't really have anybody punching at him. The guy goes to the ground where there's no ground rule game. Guiliano couldn't kick. I said it a million times. BK set it up to win for himself to win. Gio, you're not a very good New Yorker, dude. You've lost your touch. Maybe that's why you moved to California. You lost your touch. New Yorker people don't get bamboozled like that. You let the other guy set the rules in a fight. You're supposed to be smarter than that, Guiliano. God. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to see Guiliano actually fight. Now, I don't know I don't know. Did he see those jazzy punches? Did he see those in the Rocky movie, like hitting the beef and shit? I mean, like you remember like Rocky 1, right? You get that when they're trying to hype you up and he's punching really fast and shit. I don't know. Those are not punches that you use in a fight. Simon Feck versus John Morgan. All right, let me do like since it's up on the screen, right? So I'm gonna do a short. This will be a short, right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, right here. We got it right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the fight of the century, ladies and gentlemen. You see it right here. Alan the Fallen Angel comes in with Simon Feck versus John Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they know each other, but I think they don't like each other. I'll tell you that much, Leo. John Morgan, the guy that retired, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be an easy fight like Simon Feck. No, wait, he's not retired. He's a commentator. Simon Feck's going to beat up a commentator named John Morgan. John Morgan, this is for you, buddy. You hear me? Listen. You listening? John Morgan, I'll fight you any day. Get a hold of my people. You hear me? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to use the first part of that, not the second part of that. That's a good one. I'm glad you did that one. I see John Morgan comes around here a lot in Tampa. His thing that he commentates, he gets me, credentials, whatever. There's Douglas doing that. The MMA Smirker. Yeah, that's your buddy Guiliano Argenti, the MMA Smirker. The smirks that he was given walking and talking to BK, and they're going back and forth like beef to each other, and he's getting ready to go into, get his hair cut, and he can't stop laughing Because it was like a WWE moment, ladies and gentlemen. And then you're setting up rules. That's not a fight. Again, ask Douglas. The only real fighter we have around here. You don't set up rules before you fight and stuff. There's the A changer, the 999. There's Allen putting in some shit, you know? What do we got? Smoking is going to kill Argentini. Hunt too busy jacking it. Somebody needs to wake him up, okay? We got Patty Pimlet. Patty Pimlet's good. He thinks he doesn't sound like Patty Pimlet. Well, that might be funny too, as well. Somebody needs to wake him up. He wants to be somebody, like the clown says. Hunt, you just want to be somebody. Now, listen, I didn't want to put Hunt in one of my shorts in my AI shit. So I put him in because he asked for it. I thought, because I've asked him to be, Patty Pimlet in my shit. And he won't do it, and he won't do it. And I've asked him like 3 or 4 or 5 times. So I was done with it. Then he wants to be in my shorts. I put him in my shorts. And I say, hey, Hunt, now that I put you in the short, and at more than one, why don't you do the Patty Pimlet thing with me? Oh, it ain't my thing. Next week, dude, let me tell you something. Hunt, you better say yes before next week, because when the news comes out next week, don't fucking come running to fucking Simon Feck. Bitch. You better come to your fucking senses here real quick. Hunt is a good guy, but he's a pervert. Yeah, but I need him to sound like Patty Pimlet, and we're going to talk about the sloppy, dog shit and everything like that and whatever like that. Who knows? I might even interview every week for years. I told BK this when I was in his Discord. I'm in the enemy's Discord, okay? It's like the Trojan horse like Giuliani speaks of. I'm in there. I'm in the enemy's Discord. And then I told BK, every week on Wednesday, I get 3 fighters to interview that are on the card. Lately, they've been giving me some of the main card people. They might give me Patty, and then I'll say, hey, did you see that thing like this and this? And he might say no. And I'll say, well, you want to see it? Right at that point, in the middle of the interview, he's probably going to have to say yes, because or he might say no. I never look at that stuff. They might give me Patty. I have my picture with Patty. I've been in videos with Patty. I know Patty, and this fucking idiot Hunt won't fucking do the shit. Fucking stupid. Don't come to me after next week when the fucking news drops, motherfucker. Shout out to Steve Spiros for mentally scarring pube head. Now, you talk about somebody who doxes, right? So Steve Spiros, isn't he the guy, I don't know, he's a delivery guy or something like that? He's going around in a Home Depot parking lot videoing people that are homeless in the parking lot and going, look at all these homeless people. Well, let me tell you something. They might be homeless, but that's where they live. And you're doxing these people. Steve Spiros is a doxer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just playing around with that, but it is true. No rules, no weight classes, no training camps, no deals, no nothing. That's a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Guiliano Argenti and BK had a competition. It's basically a sparring session. To them, it was a real fight, but you can't have rules. It's not a fight. So therefore, BK has never been in a fight. Oh, then all of a sudden it comes out. At one point, BK said he's never been in a fight. Then the day of the fight, he used to scrap all the time, and with black guys, which I highly doubt. And with black guys at school, he used to scrap all the time. Maybe he got beat up all the time, not really fought. That's just my guess, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Tom, ladies and gentlemen. Somehow Tom has a name named Alan, ladies and gentlemen. And every week you got to figure out, and it's easy, Tom, it's easy to figure out who you are. Because Giuliani, all I got to do, like, you just go over into Giuliani's thing because you're there all the time. And then you type a lot. And you just spend about 15 seconds. He always says Tom. And then you look down, you go, well, there's Tone K, and then there's Doug, and then there's the other guy. Every new name you get, it's like, I don't know. Are you trying to be incognito or whatever? But anyways, Giuliani doxes you all the time. So to me, Alan, the fallen angel, is Tom, but I don't pay all that close attention. But to me, you're Tom. I don't know. In New York, you got a Millie Rock, hide it in the sock, running from the op. What do you know about New York, dude? I don't think you know anything about New York. We got some more stuff in here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Alan saying, yo, Pierre. Want to come out here? Who are you talking about that? Want to come out here? You talking about Simon Feck coming out there? Who are you talking about there? I mean, I'm coming out there. You know I'm coming out there. If you're talking about me. Gnome. Yeah. BK looks like a gnome, and then Giuliano Argentini's like the redwood. It's like the gnome, next to the tree, out in the tree, all that bullshit. With his great hoodie. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of that fucking shit. Because I'm not from the hood. I don't know what a hoodie is. And none of these other fuckers around here are from the hood either. Maybe Doug. I mean, everybody's lived a fucking pansy life in here. So there ain't nobody tough around here. Pretty soon my bird's going to be getting up and yelling at me. I can hear it coming. Kick emoji. Then the one monitor I'm looking at happens to be Fex on one tonight, man. That's right, MMA Cam. Let's see. Today's Friday. Oh, so it's your weekend. It's your Saturday. It's your Saturday right now. What's up, Cam? I like Cam. Simon Feck likes Cam, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad Cam hung in there. But I was like, when is this guy going to give up? And not really give up, but when is this guy going to fight back? He just won't fight back. I wanted him to fight back one time, and I'm not calling Cam a sissy. What I mean is, like, when is this guy going to get, yeah, here it is. When is this guy going to get agitated? And then I got to keep going. I'm like, it's just, everything just bounces off this guy. When is this guy going to get agitated? He's never getting agitated. And then I start thinking to myself, I'm like, Feck. I don't really call myself Feck, but I'm like, Feck. Dude, you gotta fucking stop. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. But I'm like, no, I'm going at Cam. And nothing bothers this guy. And then when Cam was backstage at the Clownies from the Clown, and he's telling everybody back there that we gotta vote Feck in for being the biggest scumbag in real life. Like Ulysses is back there. He's not saying that shit. And then a couple of other people back, they're not that. But Cam is filibustering that Simon Feck is the biggest fucking scumbag in real life. Then I knew I was agitating Cam, and I was done at that point. Why didn't Cam get agitated earlier so I didn't have to go through all that bullshit? Cam's a good sport, ladies and gentlemen. I like Cam, ladies and gentlemen. MMA consultant. Here's one guy that has no talent. We just went from a guy with talent to a guy with no talent, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here has a talent of sitting in his parents' $60 million house, ladies and gentlemen, playing Counter-Strike. And Simon Thek likes Counter-Strike, and then MMA Cam comes at Simon Thek like Simon Thek doesn't, know anything about Counter-Strike. I spent fucking hours and hours on that shit. You get into a zone in Counter-Strike. I would be like 14 hours would go by, and I was like, holy shit. I still want to play more. Counter-Strike's like the best fucking game there is. Argentini was so close to getting invited to the Italian national soccer team. Well, yeah, the way Argentini needs to give up the fight game, ladies and gentlemen, and go back to soccer, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe those long redwood legs maybe could kick a soccer ball, but the fight game ain't for you, Argentini. That's why I want to take you on. I'll take BK on too. I'll take the fucking clown on too. Clown. A guy that's never even basically been in a fight. The clown's been in a fight when he was in high school. The clown is about 55 to 56 years old. He's been in 1.5 fights. About equivalent to that fight we just seen the other day. The clown's a fake. That's how I started this video out. And where did the paper go? I was going to go through this whole paper and count out what's fake about this person and that person. But not everybody's a fake on here. There's about 4 people that aren't. The Tom. So we got Alan, the fallen angel, and he's calling himself the Tom. Like, was that narcissistic or whatever the fuck it is? Yes, I shadow boxed in Gio's face. in that little tiny room. And then you grabbed onto the ceiling blades. Like anybody that's like a millionaire, ladies and gentlemen, anybody that has a millionaire has like a fucking crack pipe, fucking burnt, fucking stained, fucking smoke, fucking filled cat on the fucking ceiling. And they always have a ceiling fan that is supposed to have 4 blades and only has 2 blades. You can't call one fucking person to come like a fucking handyman and come and change out the fucking ceiling fan. It's hard to find blades. Maybe not so much online or whatever like that, but you just go buy a new fucking fan. It's a couple fucking goddamn screws, but he doesn't know how to do that shit because he grew up privileged, ladies and gentlemen. I told him that I believe that he didn't grow up privileged. I told him to his face. But in New York City, when he's talking about he wasn't privileged, he's judging that compared to other people in New York City. You didn't grow up in fucking goddamn Florida, okay? Where when you grow up and you're not privileged, you ain't fucking goddamn privileged, okay? Your shit, dude, ain't nobody on that fucking, like right near the water, like right where you grew up, right? Ain't no fucking house there less than $1 million. Ain't fucking no house probably less than $7 fucking goddamn $1 million. I grew up in a little fucking shit stain. So you grew up privileged, but you didn't grow up maybe privileged to your area. I forgot what I was saying. I don't give a fuck. We got people just type. I'm going on all parties' behalf to book a handicap match between Mila versus Tom and Peaches. There's one. There's one, ladies and gentlemen. Pete on Q. However the fuck you say that. That's like a French name or something, right? Pedron Q or something like that, right? That's a French name or something, right? A lot of people would know that Simon Feck's name is French. I mean, Feck doesn't really sound French, but when you get doxxed by MMA Cam, Simon Feck might sound French, ladies and gentlemen. Even though Simon Feck isn't French, it's a tough one to explain there, ladies and gentlemen. Not the face, says Pete on Q or whatever, however you say your name. I tried telling him he was getting famboozled, but fam never listened. There's a friend right there, right? So you and BK won't allow you in his Discord. Obviously, you guys aren't friends, but you're friends with Giuliani. Yeah, bamboozled, exactly. I mean, BK's got a little bit of a brain on him. Only body shots. Giuliani's got to be. He's got to be hunched over. Therefore, your face is right there. And now you're not in any kind of fighting position. I don't have to explain it, but yeah. Again, how does a New Yorker? The New Yorkers know how to scam people. They know how to work deals. You out deal the other guy. That's part of being a New Yorker. You just fucking laid down for BK and let him just do all the rules. And he gave you so many rules that when you're in the middle of a fight, you got to sit there and think about rules. That's a handicap. Yet who broke the rules? BK broke the rules. He says that Giuliani, tried to strike his face. Giuliani says he didn't. Then, therefore, BK goes for Giuliani's face. BK goes for a takedown. BK's rolling. Surprised BK didn't throw a kick. Maybe he did. Somebody kicked the camera. Man, gee. You got Giuliano Argenti is definitely not street smart. That's another thing right there. He got out street smarted. And people that are street smart, they don't even play those stupid games. We're going to make a rule to fight. You fucking clock somebody when they're not looking. God damn, the more I think about this fight, man, it's insane. And it looked fake. But how can you judge a fight when you got like these stupid rules? I've never even heard of anybody say no face. I mean, that sounds like a sparring thing. That you're trying to learn a tactic or something. Am I more New York than Bamboozle Argentini? Person blue holding pencil. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would imagine you got street smart, but almost you don't even have to be street smart. Like I heard Myla, because I'm not saying anything bad about Myla. She's not saying anything bad about me, right? But Myla happened to say, the other day I heard that she has street smarts. If you have to say that you have street smarts, you don't have it. Because nobody that has street smarts is going to say that they have street smarts. But anyways, Giuliani doesn't. I mean, he got out street smarted of a game that people that are street smart don't even play. Oh God, here we go. I'm waiting for the Geo to get in here, but I think the Geo's trying to get his Aisha or whatever his name back. With his scratch on his nose from this big badass fight that he got into. With BK the killer, ladies and gentlemen. BK one time played. He had a role in Hollywood as a fighter one time, ladies and gentlemen. He was like an 0-4 fighter, like Tiki Golson, ladies and gentlemen. And BK got fired from the acting job, ladies and gentlemen. Am I more New York? Mila Lurker, ladies and gentlemen, says time, ladies and gentlemen. Probably so, ladies and gentlemen. No, she usually types in when she's in here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay in here, ladies and gentlemen. We've rocked from like 16 people down to 6 right now, ladies and gentlemen. Do y'all do dick ratings? Well, you know, let me tell you something, Matua. Okay? Matua, that I heard that's something that you used to do back on the island. Now, I'm not cooking you or anything, but back on the island, what would your didgeridoo? You guys play the didgeridoo and just imagining that it's a big penis in your mouth. And then you go around, you judge, you start judging the other guy's didgeridoo. And you use that as a code, but you guys are actually gay fuckers. Not just gay and not just fuckers, but like, you're gay fuckers. Or you need to reword your comment if you're talking about somebody else. But it sounds like you're talking about anybody that's in here, basically. Doug's putting in he's got an orange thing, And Doug's putting in the clockwork orange, ladies and gentlemen, with some turquoise. Looking up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why these things don't show up. Some people show up and some don't. Is it the StreamYard? But people put it in clowns and it goes in. It's weird. Who do we got now? Every time it looks like somebody else when I'm looking over there. Alan. All right, Simon, what would you do if one of your dolls started talking and it sounded just like Mila face red smiley thing live, whatever that. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Let me. What did I do? One of the dolls started talking and it sounded just like Mila. Well, I mean, I would probably freak out. And that's not saying anything against Mila, because I'm not saying anything against Mila, right? I'd probably start freaking out. And if I was in a state of mind where I wanted to go at Mila, I would be freaking out, because I'm not saying anything. You got to go to somebody else's chat and ask somebody what you think Simon Feck would think about that, because I'm not getting roped into comments about Mila, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, the pervision is in, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, listen to me now. This guy right here, Jimmy the Drunk, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy the Drunk has something to do. Not for 5 months, ladies and gentlemen, but for 4 months, ladies and gentlemen. A guy that's a drunk, his name is Jimmy the Drunk, has something to do. 99% of the people in all these chats, ladies and gentlemen, don't have anything to do. You have a pathetic life. Yet a guy named Jimmy the Drunk has something to do. A purpose in life. Jimmy the Drunk has a purpose in life, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy. It's like reverse land around here, ladies and gentlemen. TNB. Simon Feck doesn't know all the lingo. Who the fuck think? Aha, like that, ladies and gentlemen. Blacks only fight. Well, I heard Douglas say, basically, this other guy that came in, I don't know who it was. It was Douglas and somebody else. And then these two guys came in, and one was acting like it was Clown, right? So Douglas and Clown were in a chat. It was near the end of a stream, like a long stream. And this one guy came in, and he sounded like he was gay. And then the other guy came in and he was talking about not liking black people and everything. And then Douglas said, well, you don't go around to any black communities and talk to a black man like that. And that is a fucking true statement like that. None of these motherfuckers around here are going to go to like a basketball fucking thing where there's black people playing basketball and go around and say some of this bullshit to somebody out in the wide fucking open. To a black man, because in the black community, basically, I don't know, everything about it, but basically, you get run over if you don't fucking defend yourself and you don't let people fucking disrespect you and shit. And and that's another thing too. I'm not Simon Feck. There's going to be some rules too. I'm not going around talking about this fucking bullshit. Okay, Matua, Simon Feck, Brandon Cox got blacked during his formative years. Okay, probably so. And then Brandon K, being like a lot of people are jealous too, right? I mean, Brandon K did something in his life, okay? And then Clown, not many child actors go past being a child actor because you sort of get labeled as something or something, like that. And then whatever, like that. I know a little bit about this. You know how I know a little bit about this? I've been around the world with a lot of famous people, okay? I've also been a fucking cameraman, okay? So I know a little bit about some shit, right? So BK has done some things and he probably got harassed. His parents had him in a regular school instead of getting like homeschooled or something like that. And he probably got his ass beat because people were fucking jealous about, him being on TV and shit. Probably. It's just a guess. Hey, listen, Clown puts all, he does all kinds of shit and tries to figure fucking shit out. And a lot of times I'm at home and I'm going, this motherfucker can't figure shit out. Maybe you guys are thinking the same fucking bullshit, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that bullshit. Alan's got some volcano and all that fucking bullshit. Did he really specify with black guys? You mean I'm not talking to Doug? I mean, I don't know if you said with black guys or whatever, but you said you're not going up to people and like black guys and say, yeah, something like that. I don't know. Maybe there was some other words. You're not going to get me to say some other words. I don't know. But that's the gist of it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. It was a lot funner talking about the fight. Tom K. Ulysses is laughing, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck's basically in the weeds, and we got Pierre here. And then this guy's saying born, whatever the fuck that is. It's a capital. It's like somebody's name and shit. Do you mind stepping barefoot into some peanut butter and taking pictures of it, please? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. That's funny, Matua. I was asking Pierre if you want to come out here. Oh, okay. Mila, Simon Feck doesn't know how to read, ladies and gentlemen. Bird versus rooster. Man, I almost sounded like a fucking clown right there. That was weird. Simon Feck is from Slums of the Hood. Yeah, Slums of the Hood, right? So what's the name of that movie? Is it you're like Boys from the Hood or whatever like that? So I got my picture. I hung out with that dude too. Like, what's his name? Cuba Jr. or something like that. I was at a Super Bowl party down in Miami and I hung out with it. And the people from Breaking Bad. A whole bunch of fucking shit people. Before the party started, I ate dinner with all them motherfuckers too, man. That was the second most famous star-studded thing that I ever went to was that Super Bowl party down there in Miami. They asked me to show up there early, so I showed up there early, and there was a special cook for these fucking people and everything. And there was I don't know, Jamie Foxx. I mean, I sat at the table with him. I ate dinner. There was like 35 famous people, and there was like 2 people that weren't famous. It was me and my friend. It was pretty fucking cool, that one. Then I went out to, it's like Forest Lawn out there in California. I went to a funeral there of a famous friend of mine. And there was probably 150 famous people there and about 30 non-famous people. And I was there. And that was that was badass, dude. Okay, so I don't know how I got on that one. Simon Feck was the last person born from a butthole. No, that's not how it was. Early in the stream, ladies and gentlemen, early in the stream, Combat Casual was born from a butthole, ladies and gentlemen. He was the last person. The guy formerly known as Idaho was the guy born from a butthole. Because I'm older than Combat Casual, therefore I couldn't have been the last. Simon Feck is the pride of Rio de Janeiro. I've been down there, ladies and gentlemen. I was backstage at Rock in Rio, ladies and gentlemen, about 6, 7 years ago, maybe. Could be 8, 7 years ago. Backstage at the headliner. Simon Feck's been around, ladies and gentlemen. Hamron Castle. He is a ham, isn't he, ladies and gentlemen? That's another thing, too, with Cam, right? Cam's the fucking dip and dasher, or whatever the fuck Clown says. That's why when Cam, when like Cam has that new channel, that new secret channel, and whenever he's on his secret channel there, right? He hasn't gone live on it yet because he doesn't have enough people on it, but he puts videos out on it. So I go in there and I make sure I watch less than 30 seconds and turn it off so the algorithm gets fucked up for him. Because when he comes in my stream, he's in here for less than 2 minutes and he's gone. YouTube doesn't like that. YouTube likes 3 minutes or more, ladies and gentlemen. When you're supporting your friends, don't fucking bounce out in less than 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Simon Feck, Bearing Consultant. Oh my God. Consultant just has a couple things to say. And luckily he's moved on. But again, every time he's got like, it's less than 3 things every stream that he does. And he gets stuck on these same 3. Did you hear him doing it yesterday? You hear him doing the commentating yesterday? He couldn't get past 1, 2, or 3 things. It was the same thing over and over again. I appreciate everybody typing in here. Feck used to play Counter-Strike 1.6. Yeah, I mean, probably so. I played it early on, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I'm as old as the clown is, ladies and gentlemen. And he claims that he's not old, ladies and gentlemen. Yet the clown is stuck on everything. The clown is stuck on everything. Like, a lot of times, and especially that era, the 80s era, those people that were in high school in the 80s are stuck on the 80s. Who else is stuck on the 80s here? Jimmy the Drunk is not stuck on the 80s. Cam Hassel's not stuck on the 80s. BK is not stuck on the 80s. BK's 40 years old. Here we go. We're making fun of the old bird, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, black crows only live to be about 7 or 9 years old or something, don't they? Every fighter has a bad night. So you're sticking up for your buddy Guiliano Argenti. Your buddy Guiliano Argenti had the cards stacked against him. You can't fight like like this underhand punching and shit. I mean, that's what he had to do to reach down to fucking little fucking gnome BK. Then he's got to sit there and remember all these rules that BK is not wanting to remember. He knows he doesn't need to remember the rules because as soon as he wants to turn on somebody, he's turning. BK probably never planned on using any of the rules. Like, what is it? Adhering to any of the rules. That's how you kick somebody's ass. We don't need to. Giuliani didn't lose that fight. How can you lose a fight that basically it's stacked? The odds are stacked up against you to lose. You do lose, but there's no way to win. And obviously there was a way to win, but now people got to stop treating this like it was like a fight. I mean, I got to go back and listen to this clown thing, even though I said I wouldn't listen to it. I got to see what the clown pulled out of it. Out of everything. Bet, Matua. What are we betting? Narcissist. Simon Fegg pulled that word out. I can't see Cam and Doug in chat. What the fuck? Well, they haven't been typing here recently, so. Metamorphosis. Yeah, Curtis sealing blades, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good one. Dude. Yeah, so, I stood next to him a few times. He's a big dude, man. And then I talked to Sean Strickland. I interviewed Sean Strickland a couple years back and some other times, but okay, more than once. And then Sean Strickland got stuck on saying, Curtis Blades, he's just big. I sparred against Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades, he's big. Curtis Blades, he's big. But anyways, that was funny about the Curtis Blades. Giuliani's new name for his ceiling fan there, ladies and gentlemen. Go to live chat, consult. Maybe it works. We got people giving useless. It worked. Man, people are learning stuff in here, ladies and gentlemen. People are learning stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And another thing that you're going to learn is that wasn't a fight, ladies and gentlemen. That was a fake fight. Either it was fake from the start, or it was just fake because you can't have rules about not punching people in the face. And then you can't go to the ground, and you can't kick. I mean, maybe, like pulling hair could be one, and eye gouging. Fucking stupid-ass fucking fight. That's the gayest fucking goddamn fight I've ever fucking seen in my life. Of course, it's probably not. See that shit on TV or whatever, but I'm surprised there wasn't like the camera didn't fall down and it showed like a I don't know, a marquee from a fucking gay club because it looked like two fucking gays fucking fighting. Now go ahead, clown. Hey, Simon Feck's running his mouth any fucking day, clown. And a guy that doesn't fight, he can only come up with 1.5 fights that he can recall. And he barely recalled the one fight. And then the other one was just like a location of the other one. So I call that a half. And at first he was going to tell us about 3 fights, but he said he's been in 15 fights. Well, if you've been in 15 fights, you can't come up with 8 fights and give me something good about the fight. Doug will give you all day long about that fight where he had to hold the phone and this and that and everything. The one with the fucking goddamn squirrel guy with the same exact accent as Ronan. I'm not saying he's Ronan, but that guy lives in the same neighborhood as Ronan. If not, he lives in the same city. I guarantee you. He wouldn't answer the Canadian thing. He was giggling about all that shit. Squirrel. Hey, Squirrel. You're over there sucking Ronan's dick because you're a bunch of fucking Canadian pussies. Travis Scott. No, man. I grew up in the Bronx. Yeah, right. You talking about Argenti? I offered to step in short notice replacement privately behind the scenes, but Gio insisted. Man, you would destroy him. I mean, I've never seen you fight or nothing like that, but I mean, you could recall fights. That means you're in fights. That means you basically, most likely, you're not scared. Maybe you could be scared before, but like not scared to be in a fight, and you've been in fights. There's a huge advantage there. You know what to expect. These guys don't know what to expect in a fucking fight. They're making rules before they fight. I mean, that tells a lot right there. Oh, Gio, don't hit me in the face, man. I don't want my pretty face messed up. What kind of fight is that? And all the fake beef going up to it too. They're going at each other all day long, and I'm reading this shit, and I'm thinking that it seemed like it was such petty shit that I'm like, these guys are actually going to fight with this petty shit. You can't come up with some better shit than that. Oh yeah, you're talking about his mom. That's right. You know that's not petty, but I mean the way that they were carrying it on. Besides the mom thing, it seemed very petty. It seemed like they were friends. I thought it was fucking fake. I mean, whatever. I mean, we got Jimmy the Drunk. Did I miss one? Guest referee for the rematch, Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck's going to be the referee for the next fight, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight's going to be Guiliano Argenti versus Brandon K, ladies and gentlemen. And there's so many rules to this. My bird brain can't fucking keep it all in, ladies and gentlemen. I can't fucking, I got a little pea fucking bird brain, and there's so many rules and regulations to this fight. I can't keep it all straight, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you guys really seriously got to run this back and have a real fucking fight. Here's another thing. You two, did you put yourself out there to make it look like the both of you are a bunch of fucking bad motherfuckers? That you'll fight and nobody will fight you? You put together a fake fucking fight to make it look like that nobody else is going to challenge you. The problem is like most people are going to see that and they're going to say, "Oh my God, there's no way in hell I could get hurt." I can't lose. It could be a draw at the best. There's no way you could lose because nothing would hurt you. Everything you've seen there, none of it could injure anybody. Both parties. Oh my God. And then fucking Brandon K walks away with a fucking couple $100, right? I mean, I don't know why Gio would pay to lose or whatever, but I don't know. It's fucking weird. I haven't really put that much thought into it there, but there's another thing too. Yeah, the two of them made it look like they're badasses. Maybe to keep the clown off of them, ladies and gentlemen. The guy that won't never go anywhere. No, I'm scared, man. I'm scared. I mean, I got to go to bed, ladies and gentlemen. I got to crawl up in that nest, ladies and gentlemen. I got myself a bird laying in the nest, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm scared of Gio. Gio's definitely going to hear about this. Gio's been in here already. Gio's going to hear all about it, ladies and gentlemen. Passing that off as a fight, too. It was a real fight, but I can't get over it. He totally uses the fight story for sympathy points. Yeah, I know it. Like the sympathy thing, and then oh my God, actually, consultant has a brain, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he's getting the back rub right now and shit. Oh, poor, fucking, I can't do fucking gay shit. Try to act like clown. The clown could like do like a reenactment of a girl, doing sympathy to Gio, but I can't. I tried it. Only fucking gay guys can do that shit. And then the clown's gonna go, that goddamn Simon Effect's calling me gay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the clown said that he would treat me like a woman. That sounds pretty gay, ladies and gentlemen. A sloppy toppy doll, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, okay, I can't really comment on this, ladies and gentlemen, but this one comes in all alone by itself. It's not attached to like this name or that name or anything like that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm good, man. Simon Feck's good, ladies and gentlemen. I might right now. I set myself up for either a fight with BK, Giuliani Argentini, or the clown, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still doing okay, ladies and gentlemen. Not scared about none of that, ladies and gentlemen. Putting in the Clockwork Orange, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the clock, the turquoise, and the looking up thing. I don't know why. Why is the shit? Why has it got to spell it out and all that bullshit and all that shit? It's weird. Clockwork Orange. I was asking BK specified that he was a scrap. If black guys, as you mentioned, he mentioned. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so that was on the stream before the fight. In quote, and like you say, Doug, in air quotes. Yeah, he definitely said that he scrapped at school and he scrapped with black guys. And made it apparent that it was often. Hell yeah, he said it 100%. Mila's got it. Mila's got it on private, and she said that she's gonna edit it and then have Mila, Doug, not telling you what to do, right? But ask Mila not to crop that part out. Once you crop it out on YouTube, you don't get it back. It's there on that stream. He's got maple syrup in his hair, ladies and gentlemen. Ulysses is still here, ladies and gentlemen. We got some other stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 40, and that music catalog over there on the Clown Show is way before my day. There's other things too, like he knows what the Iverly brothers is, or the Everly brothers, and all that shit, right? So when you're in high school in 1985, your dad is teaching you about that music as you're listening to what we call the 80s now. Somehow Simon Feck knows what he's talking about. Just put it that way. He brings up stuff that his dad had taught him that he knows about. And he certainly knows more about the 80s. And then, therefore, what his dad was teaching him, he knows a little bit about. And again, Simon Feck knows exactly. Simon Feck knows a little bit about what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Might as well start bumping Beethoven. Feck cooking, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is like Feck's got a bird, and the bird's gonna fucking be knocking on the fucking door here any second, ladies and gentlemen. Currently 33-6. That's what I thought, ladies and gentlemen. And then I moved it like maybe 43-6. But at one time, maybe I quoted your win-loss. I don't know, a few months back. I thought you were like 31-2 or something, or 3 or something, or 33-3 or something. And then I remembered recently you said 33-6, but then I didn't remember in the case it could have been 43-6, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here, ladies and gentlemen? We got age change 999 still in here, ladies and gentlemen. Where can you see the fight video? Okay. I would imagine you know who Mila Stoner is, right? She put out one of those community things for her YouTube channel. Mila Stoner, spelled exactly like you think it would be spelled. Now I know what Clown's talking about when his voice gets rough or whatever. I feel like I got a cough. And another thing, Giuliani can't stop asking me if it's hot in this mask or whatever like that, ladies and gentlemen. Who says it's a mask, ladies and gentlemen? This is me. So we got air conditioner on, plus another air conditioner on top of the air conditioner. It was freezing cold before I started, ladies and gentlemen. Now it just feels like normal, like you're in the air conditioner, but I make it freezing cold before things start. So you go to Mila Stoner to see the fight, but she has it on private right now in one of those community things I seen today, and she says that she's going to edit it. And then as soon as she's done editing it, I don't know if she's ever edited it, from the YouTube thing before or not, but you edit it and then it's got a process. Might be tomorrow if she's working on it. I don't know. Could be later today. I don't know. I don't know where you can see it exactly at this moment right now. Just keep checking Mila Stoner, I guess. Gio's 0-1 on the cobbles against the homeless dudes. There in the video, there was a homeless guy in the background. There was a tree in the background, and it looked like just on the other side of the tree, there was this guy. You could see like a couple bags. And when I mean bags, I mean like almost like army duffel bags or whatever, like bags. Like 3 bags. And then the guy was taking, it looked like he was taking a blanket, and he was almost getting ready. He wasn't like laying down, but he was sitting up, but like he was getting ready to hide underneath the blanket. There was a homeless guy in the back in that fucking video. I just snorted. I thought it was so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Did I do this? We're gonna see this. This is it. Are you gonna battle Argenti next? Yeah, I've been seeing this one around here. MMA World Journal. Are you like in Mila's thing or something? Yeah, definitely what I've seen, man. I mean, there's no problem at that, ladies and gentlemen. There's absolutely no problem at all at that. That's another thing too. It's like, it takes a few hits usually, right? Till they sort of don't hurt anymore. And also, it's coming. When you've been in some fights, you're prepared to know that it's only going to hurt usually for a little while, for a little bit. And then you're in that zone, and they start coming at you, and you're not feeling them anymore. And hopefully you're actually getting hit, but I mean I'm a little bit experienced, that's all. Simon Doug versus Clown, Logan, tag team sparring match. Simon Doug versus Clown and Logan. Oh, I like that. Any day. All right, let's do a short on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, ladies and gentlemen. We got 999 in the chat here, ladies and gentlemen. Just came up with a card, ladies and gentlemen. Simon and Doug versus Clown and Logan coming to an area. Jesus Christ, an arena near you. That was not going to work because Doug's a friend of Clown. And then Simon Feck was a clown, was a clown connoisseur for entertainment. But, man, the dude is like, I don't know, it's like me running out of words. It's getting stale, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thanks. Yeah, about the Mila Stoner thing. In an alleyway near you. Yeah, there you go. Okay, hold on a second. Where's it at, ladies and gentlemen? My real voice is coming through, ladies and gentlemen. The batteries are running low, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the card of the century here, ladies and gentlemen. 999 comes in the chat and says Simon Feck and Douglas Memo, ladies and gentlemen, versus the Clown Show Live and Logan J, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to an alleyway near you, ladies and gentlemen. Get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute. Get on the Mila stream. Mila stream seems to be the stream that runs the fights, ladies and gentlemen. It's like pay-per-view, only it's free, ladies and gentlemen. And then it goes to private, ladies and gentlemen. And then she's got to take it and what is it? I don't know. Edit it, ladies and gentlemen. Edit it to make it look like a real fight, ladies and gentlemen. And then after she makes it look finally like a real fight, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to put it out there to the public, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Something like that, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another thing, too, right, ladies and gentlemen? All right. You know who I really want to fight, ladies and gentlemen? I already put it out there. I'll fight BK. I'll fight Guiliano Argenti. And I'll fight Clown, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, come in close, ladies and gentlemen. This is who I really want to fight in the community, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck. Now, I've been thinking about this for a while, too, ladies and gentlemen. And it definitely ain't Jimmy the Drunk, ladies and gentlemen, because you punch a guy like that, ladies and gentlemen, he ain't going to feel it, ladies and gentlemen, because he's so drunk, ladies and gentlemen. And he's got that big beer gut, ladies and gentlemen. And then if the rules are you can only punch him in the gut, ladies and gentlemen, you know, he's got that big beer gut, ladies and gentlemen. It would be an unfair advantage to Simon Feck because Simon Feck doesn't have a big-ass beer gut, ladies and gentlemen. But the real person that Simon Feck wants to fight in the community, ladies and gentlemen, the real person that Simon Feck wants to fight in the community is none other